Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new video for you all today. So today I bring you guys loot from 25,000 crystal keys, the very first loot video of the series that is not monster related. And before we begin the video, I just want to say I do apologize that this took 2 weeks to upload. You know, I'm not going to give you guys any excuses. The reality of it is this video was just very boring to make, so I was very demotivated to log on. I think the most that I was playing a day was about 5 hours, which is not that much for a guy like me, so that's why this video took so long to do. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. So first things first, 25,000 crystal keys. The reason I wanted to do that many was because prior to actually going into this video, I wanted to see how many people have done before on YouTube. And from what I saw, you know, crystal keys really aren't that relevant as it pertains to content, so I think most of the videos that were done on them were done years ago. And the most that I saw from Old School RuneScape was SparkMac, who uploaded a loot from 5,000 video. And outside of Old School RuneScape, on RuneScape 3, there was someone who uploaded a loot from 10,000 video. So if you guys want to check either of those videos out, feel free to look at the description below. Maybe you can compare the loot from this video to those videos which were done years ago when prices were much different. And 25,000 may seem like a lot for this video, but I just wanted to make it a little bit more memorable. And I actually got done with selling a lot of stuff on my main account, and I had a really large cash stack, which is pretty rare for me. And originally I was going to buy an Elysian, but instead I just spent all of the money, which I think was about 570 millish, on these lovely crystal keys. But the real question of the video is, will we profit or will we lose money? And just how much will we lose, or just how much will we make? So yeah, that was pretty much the question that we were going to answer with this video. I did actually buy all the keys on a separate account. You know, I wanted to put this on an account that didn't really have anything in the bank, so that all of the items that we get from these crystal chests were very easy to track. And all that I needed for this video was redirection scrolls to teleport me directly to Taverley, and also dueling rings so that I can teleport to the bank in Castle Wars and then back to Taverley with the tabs. So in order to get a redirection scroll, you just have to do Nightmare Zone, and on this account particularly I have about 10 million Nightmare Zone points, so I had all of the resources that I need to do this video. There really wasn't any cost involved. I mean, of course you have to spend a ton of money on the keys in order just to open the chest, but the only things that I was using other than the crystal keys, as you can see in the bank tab, were pretty much just house teleport tabs and rings of dueling, so it didn't really cost too much to do this. Now, had I used my main account and had I used the perks of having a max cape, I mean, obviously I could have just directly teleported to this location and used no supplies at all, but I was actually at Redwoods on my main. I'm trying to get the beaver pet, and I got about 2 million woodcutting XP on that account while I was making this video, so figured I would prioritize that account on doing something more useful for maybe a future video, and that's kind of why I went with this account over that one. So yeah, the only thing that I do regret was not having full graceful. That would have probably helped me out for sure on this account, but at the end of the day it's alright. Didn't really affect the time too much. Okay, so enough about all of that. Let's talk a little bit about the crystal keys themselves. You know, what monsters in this game actually drop crystal keys? So there's actually only a few, and most of them are pretty high level. First one being Kraken, which is a very high 87 Slayer monster to kill. The next one being Deranged Archaeologist, which I've actually never killed before. The next one being Grotesque Guardians, another monster that I've never killed before. The next one being Kriara, the Armadillo boss, Thermonuclear Smoke Devil, and the last one being the Alchemical Hydra. So as you can kind of tell, most of the monsters that do drop these lovely crystal keys that are only worth just about 22 to 21k depending on the day are all high level. Now, if for some reason you can't access any of those monsters and you can't access the Grand Exchange or anything like that, then the next best thing to do in order to get crystal keys is to kill lower level monsters that drop tooth keys and loop keys. Now, these keys are much smaller and less expensive than the crystal key themselves, but once combined you can actually make a crystal key by combining a tooth and a loop key. And I'm pretty sure probably at least 95% of everyone watching this video knows that already, but just figured for anyone returning to the game, if you forgot, well, that's how you do it. So yeah, simply combining those two small keys can get you this crystal key. Now, my first impression was actually pretty good, because after using 1,000 crystal keys and spending about, you know, 22.8 2.8 mil on average on every 1,000 keys, I had walked away with about 23.6 mil in drops. Seeing 800k profit in the first set of 1,000 was pretty motivating, and over the course of this video, I did try and price check every so often, the first 1,000, the next 5,000, 10,000, so on, so that you guys get a good idea throughout the video. You just don't have to wait till the very end. So I tried to do that every now and again. Now, you guys also may notice that I did buy a little bit of stamina potions there, just about 300. I didn't really use them too often, but there were times that I did. Some of the times when I needed my energy back, I would just use Clan Wars and, just step inside and outside of the portal for 100% run. On this particular account, I don't have an ornament pool, so, keep in mind if you do have access to a construction cape or a max cape, which, both of those things can teleport you directly to Taverley, and also they can, if you have an ornament pool in your house, you can use that for your full energy back. So if you have either of those things or both of those things, then you'll most likely be doing more keys per hour than I was. I was averaging about 550 openings per hour, and that's if I was paying like full-on attention, averaging about 8 keys per inventory. On my slow hours, when I was on multiple accounts and doing other things, I was getting about 450 to 500 keys an hour. So it really just depends on how much attention you're paying. Something to keep in mind, this is constant clicking, constant back and forth teleporting, so it does really get annoying after a while, and I'm not one to complain. I mean, I picked flax for 30 hours straight. I've done miserable things in this game before, I assure you, but this was just kind of one of those things that, well, let's just say it felt more repetitive than almost anything that I've ever done before. So yeah, that's saying something for sure. Now, as you can see here, we do have about 10,000 keys open so far, and just looking at this price check of all of these items, it does come out to be 231.3 mil. Just to see at this point that we were making profit, I pretty much confirmed that I was going to end up with profit at the end of this video. I figured, if I was making profit 10,000 keys in, then I was most likely still going to be making profit 20,000 keys in, and so on and so forth. So that was nice to see. Again, my biggest and only regret for this video is that I didn't buy these keys for cheaper. I should have been more patient. I definitely could have made that profit margin much higher, but again, poor planning will result in poor profit. Now, something that I haven't brought up yet that is pretty much the most important part of the video, of course, is the drops. What exactly can you get from these crystal key chests, and do you guys think that there should be any improvements or anything taken out of these crystal chests? Let me know in the comments section below. I mean, these crystal keys and this crystal chest in general, which is located in Taverley, has been in the game for a very long time. It actually says that the release date of the crystal key was February 27th, 2002. I was 4 years old when this came out. That is just insane. So it's very old. I don't know if the drop table has always been the same, but it's definitely unique for what it offers. I mean, I truly think it's one of the only things in the game that offers you a spinach roll, which, having upwards of, I think I ended up with like over 5,000 of those. I think I probably have the most in the game. But, I think the only other thing that you get these spinach rolls from is random events and stuff like that. So as it pertains to weird items, I think the spinach roll takes the trophy for that one. But looking at all the other items here, you can certainly see a lot of stackables, a lot of notables. I did my very best to try and pick up everything, but there would be a few occasions when I would bring out 20 different keys rather than bringing out 8. And ideally, I would open every single key in one inventory and then run back and then pretty much use 2 inventories to pick up all of the items that were on the ground. Now, a few of these occasions, there were other people in there that would be picking up my items, and yeah, I did get a little bit upset at these people, but at the end of the day, if I see random stuff on the ground, I most likely am going to take it too. So there is a few items that are not there, but granted, I don't think that happened more than like 5 times or so it's not too bad. And there is multiple ways of opening these chests. You don't have to just do the 8 or the 20 that I was doing. You can bring as many keys as you find fit. Everyone has their number, I suppose, but yeah, it seemed to be working out pretty well using those 2 different methods. Anyways, enough rambling. Here we finally are, guys. 25,000 crystal keys have been done, and there you guys see it in the game there. Truly the worst one yet, and I would pretty much agree with that, to this day, that this was probably my least enjoyed video of the series so far. And simply put, I think it's just because I did 25,000. I think I just kind of wore myself out. Maybe I should have done 10,000, but again, I wanted this video to be memorable. I mean, I made you guys wait a million years for it, so I figure I might as well do more than expected. So here we go. Let's see if we made or lost any money on this one. We spent 569.5 mil right away. We see the dragon stones are worth 346 mil, so there's a bulk of your money back right away just off of those. Ended up getting about 16.5 mil cash, 196,000 coal, 297,000 iron ore, 7,300 raw swordfish. That's pretty interesting. They're pretty good price though. And just about 87 mil in rune bars. So yeah, a lot of money, extra money coming of course from the runes, as well from the adamant square shields. These items that aren't necessarily that valuable certainly do add up over time. Now everything did come out to be 583.5 mil, meaning that we got approximately 14 million in profit in about 50 to 55 hours of opening crystal key chests. And of course the very next thing to do is sell everything. Now you got to be a little bit careful when selling bulk of iron ore and coal and just bulk of any of these items, because the Grand Exchange certainly does not expect to see a surplus of all of these items. So I tried my very best not to sell everything right away, but as you guys can see, I wasn't the best at that. I didn't really think that the uncut dragonstones, especially of all of the items, would be more valuable than initially they were shown as. It was really neat to see that they showed at 13.5k each, and it actually was 14.1k. So it was nice to get that extra 600 GP per dragonstone. That really did help the profit. Some of the items I did sell for a little bit less than I expected, especially the tooth keys. They just didn't seem to be selling at all for some reason, but that's to be expected. There's just a massive amount of them, and at the end of the day I did leave them in overnight, and I logged in the next morning to collect all of the money, and it did come out to be just about 582.3 mil from 25,000 crystal keys. Now the overall costs of this video, I would say estimated to be around 3 mil for the teleports, just the house teleports, about 500k from the dueling rings, and approximately about 1 mil from the stamina potions. So we can go ahead and change that 13.1 mil profit to just about 8 to 8.5 mil, and over the course of all the hours that this video took, it comes out to be 160k an hour for opening 25,000 crystal keys. Now had I purchased the keys for less than I initially bought them for, then I think I would have made more profit, but still, even if it was doubled, we would still only be making about 300k an hour. So I'm curious, what do you guys think about crystal keys? Do you think this is ever a worthwhile money making method? Your take on the drop table, let me know in the comments section below, and thank you guys so much for being patient with me, and thank you so much for watching the video. I'll see you guys in 2 days with a Q&A and a bank video finally, and until next time, Mr. No Sleep out.